Hi, I'm Tony Kramer with RDO Equipment Company. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Agriculture Technology Podcast.
Every day, there are phenomenal advancements being made in the field of agriculture technology. RDO Equipment Company is a leader in agriculture equipment and precision agriculture technology and is here with industry experts bringing the latest news and information from RDO and John Deere.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is episode number 145, and today we are going to be talking about the model year 2022 Hagie sprayer updates. Before we dive into the show, please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. You can subscribe to the show on the many different podcasting apps that we're streaming this out to, such as Apple's podcast app. We've got it on Stitcher, Overcast, SoundCloud, as well as many others. While you're out there, drop us a review. We'd love to hear what you think about the show. Lastly, make sure to follow RDO Equipment Company on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and catch all of our latest videos on YouTube. We've also recently released a new YouTube channel called Precision Ag Answers by RDO Equipment Company. On there, you'll find basic walkthroughs of everything from machine optimization, display navigation, and even the operations center. So if you're looking for a little bit of help and you enjoy browsing YouTube, I encourage you to go out and check out the Precision Ag Answers YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at RDOTonyK. Now with that, let's get back to the show. I'm excited to welcome Mike Strand, who is a corporate business account manager with RDO Equipment. Thanks for joining us on the show today, Mike. To get started, I'd like to hear a little bit more about you and your background and how you got involved in the industry.
Hey, good morning, Tony. Originally, I grew up in Minot, North Dakota, raised on a small grain farm. Graduated NDSU in 2006, went through the Ag Systems Management and Ag Business program there. I've been with RDO for about 15 years, started working for RDO right out of college. I've been in the parts department as an account manager until 2009. Then I moved into service. Recently, I moved into the corporate business account manager position.
Yes, you've been with RDO a while and sat in a couple different chairs, parts, service, sales, kind of all over. And this corporate business account manager brings you back into the sales world. So, which is exactly why I wanted to have you on the show today to talk a little bit about these model year 2022 Hagie updates. So, diving right into it, Mike. The first thing I noticed is John Deere kind of restructured their Hagie model lineup. They kind of slimmed it down a little bit. What models are now being offered come model year 2022?
So we got three models to offer. It's STS 12, the STS 16, and the STS 20. The number correlates to the size of the solution tank, 1,200, 1,600, and 2,000 gallon tanks. All models have all the same basically standard options on them. They all have 74 inches of clearance, ground to underframe clearance. They all come standard with the all-wheel steer, and they are all very well balanced machines, whether the machine has a full solution tank or an empty one and anywhere in between. The other thing that they all three come with is a John Deere 9-liter engine coupled together with the command drive system.
Let's talk a little bit about the weight distribution. So it's not necessarily new. They've offered this for a couple years now, but Hagie came out a couple years back, came out with their kind of revolutionary hybrid boom. Tell us a little bit about this hybrid boom and what makes it so great.
So the hybrid boom comes out as a half aluminum, half steel. The inner 60 feet of that boom are steel. The outer wings are aluminum. They offer 4 different boom sizes. It's a 90, 100, 120, and 132 foot. On the 132 foot boom, the first 70 feet is steel, and the rest of it is aluminum. The boom itself, very lightweight. Helps with the balance and the weight distribution on the machine. That's a huge factor in it. The transport visibility and the new cab design has made this sprayer an excellent option. One of the other big changes they made on this machine is they moved the suspension airbags inside the wheel dish instead of on the outside or on the top, excuse me. And what that does is that removes that. It gives you over the rail visibility for when you're going down the road, side roads, just overall good visibility everywhere.
Yeah, I know from sitting in different Hagies over the years when John Deere first acquired the Hagie line, the older Hagie machines, I will say, coming from my seat on the bus, used to a rear boom machine and not having to look through the boom, this new hybrid boom is definitely awesome when it comes to visibility, transport visibility down the road. And then you mentioned the suspension system, the airbags, taking that from up above, up by the cab, going down below into the wheel dish. So these new model year 2022 sprayers are going to have even greater visibility than what some of the older ones have. Now with that, Mike, I want to jump into some of the new stuff, the exciting new technology that's being added to the Hagies. I know a lot of people have been asking for this for quite a while. We can confidently tell you that here, model year 2022, you are going to see a lot of the technology, a lot of the integration that everyone has been asking for. So starting out, let's just talk about the integrated John Deere technology that they've added.
Yeah, since the Hagie came out with these STS sprayers, John Deere has redesigned and integrated all the John Deere technology that comes in a normal John Deere sprayer. They come up with a new cab with the integrated Gen 4 command arm right in there. Along with that is the integrated Starfire 6000 receiver on the roof. With the Gen 4, you basically have all the same application packages as a John Deere sprayer, which includes auto track vision, row sense, section control, anything that you need to get your product to the ground most efficiently is available for these.
Yeah, I know one thing, seeing the pictures when you look at them, it's going to be very similar to sitting in one of the John Deere R-Series sprayers, the new 600s and 400 series sprayers, having that Gen 4 command arm right there. Taking a step back along with that John Deere technology, something that was added to the John Deere line of sprayers last year, I believe, and now they've added it to the Hagie line is, and you mentioned it back when we were talking models, but the command drive system. Tell us a little bit about the command drive system and why that's so awesome on a sprayer.
So the command drive system is basically the propulsion system. It acts a lot like an IVT. It basically is an IVT. What it does is it, instead of a sprayer that normally operates at, say, 2200 RPM going down the field, this will lower the engine RPMs, say, from 2200 down to 1600, 1700 when you're in the field. That's huge on fuel savings. On a comparable model, you're looking at roughly about a 20% fuel savings just in by using it. The other thing, and it's not new, but real-time traction control. What that does is it diverts the oil to the non-slipping wheels. So you get into heavy mud, loose ground, hills, whatever it is, the system is going to automatically take care of it for you. There's no inputs needed, at the time of using the sprayer. With that, there is two presets for that, and then there is also a custom setting if you choose to go in and if an operator decides to tweak the system himself. One other thing, the programmable speed ranges with that transmission. You can rapidly change from your spray speeds to your turn speeds with just the click of a button on the back of the control handle on the cab.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And like I said, they came out with it, I believe it was last year, in the John Deere lineup of sprayers. And I know a lot of people have really loved it. Kind of like you said, it's almost like an IVT. The engine just does what it needs to do. It increases or decreases RPMs as it feels necessary. I know one of the things when it comes to transport, the sprayer's not screaming at 2,200 RPM as you're going down the road. It actually backs way down, super quiet, very efficient. So that is really awesome. Just bringing that John Deere technology into the Hagie lineup. Now, another thing they came out with this year, or they're coming out with this year in the model year 22 sprayers, is the Power Spray Solution Control System. What is the Power Spray Solution Control System?
So Power Spray, there's a couple of key features to it here. The biggest one is the predictive pump control. What that does is that anticipates changes in flow to maintain your target rate. It basically uses a look ahead, especially using prescriptions, straight rates and whatnot, and it just sees what's coming up. It takes that into account, figures out what it's going to need to do, and gets your product down. It also has an electronic solution tank level indicator. What that does is it gives you real-time feedback on where your solution tank is at. Again, and also it has fast and accurate loading with an optional dedicated pull-on pump, and up to 2 different fill locations are available. One is on the front, and then the other one is mounted to the side step. The last option is an eductor on this for this system. So if you don't have a mixed cone in a trailer and you need to load in the field and all you have is water, it acts just like a normal eductor. You mix your chemical, pull it into the tank, and fill your tank, and away you go.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys are really going to like that Power Spray system on there. The predictive pump control itself, you get into any sort of rolling terrain, hills, or anything like that where your speeds may vary just a little bit. That predictive pump control is definitely going to come into effect when you're trying to keep a very consistent rate to get that product down. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, Mike, and a lot of people have been asking for this. I'm really excited to tell people that we now have it. It is now an option for order, but the 2022 Hagie can now be ordered with ExactApply.
Correct. ExactApply compatibility is a huge thing for this sprayer. You know, before it was just on the John Deere model sprayers. But yeah, now they've opened it up, decided to put it on there. That tags right along with the Gen 4 display in the cab. All the updates that John Deere is put on this sprayer has made it a heck of a machine. A couple of the big things, it does work at the 15 hertz and the 30 hertz PWM. The other big thing is the turn compensation. If you're not familiar with turn compensation, as you're making your turns and your outer boom is going faster and your inner boom is going slower, it accounts for that. It keeps you from under applying on one side and over applying on the other. Again, that's been available with the ExactApply on the John Deere's previous, but again, they've added that. The third thing on the ExactApply is you have individual nozzle control across the boom. Instead of having larger sections, this is shutting off individual nozzles. So you have very, very little overlap when it comes to end rows, triangle, point rows, anything like that. So it's as the boom crosses into a already sprayed coverage map, each nozzle itself individually turns off.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys have really enjoyed their ExactApply sprayers from the John Deere lineup, and now to bring that over to the Hagie portfolio, it's a huge thing. A lot of the Hagie lovers have been asking for this, so it's an exciting time for the Hagie sprayers. Now, let's talk availability, Mike. I know a lot of this stuff is the model year 22 sprayers. What does availability look like for these features and options?
Basically, the availability, new pricing comes out here June 21. All the prices are going to be out. All the features are going to be out. Everything's going to be available. It is going to be considered a model year 2022 for these particular updates and these particular sprayers. November 1 would be the earliest delivery date for these machines.
Yeah, and actually right now, beginning of June here, I believe early order program should be open now. So if you're interested in these sprayers, I would definitely get on top of it and get something ordered up. Now, that being said, Mike, if someone would like to learn more about the model year 2022 Hagie lineup, where can they go? Who can they talk to?
A couple of options you have there. Talk to an RDO account manager or product specialist. Everybody's informed on these, very well versed in them. Any questions that you have, we can get answered. Another option, go out to rdioequipment.com. Right in the search box, type in Hagie. A whole list of features and information comes up there. And also, if you visit Deere.com, do the same thing. Search Hagie. John Deere is fully engulfed in these Hagies. All the information is out there that you need. If you have any questions on it, feel free to reach out to anybody at RDO, and we'll get your answers.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, here, June 2nd, 2021, early order program is now open. Pricing should all be available. So, yeah, get in, get your question answered. So thank you very much for sitting down with me, Mike, taking the time to talk about these new model year 2022 Hagie sprayers, and get out there and happy selling.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you have questions about the technology and products discussed, or have ideas about future episodes, please leave them in the comments below. You can also subscribe to RDO's YouTube channel and be in the know about each episode, or tune in on any streaming service. Thanks for listening.